hear me? Can you hear me? Loud and clear.
Hello, 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 hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Does this thing talk to me?
That thing should.
Can you hear me? This thing.
He went to go check on the thing.
Would help actually right here. We are going to go live to the Casting Kids Championship. So the first thing that we're going to be doing this afternoon is we're going straight to the Casting Kids competition. They are doing their championship round right now, and we are going to go to that thing live right now.
You know what? I'm gonna grab it again. Oh,
Babe, why don't you want to let her in for me? Oh, she got the step
I got it.
She got it serious. I don't know.
So are we taking one of these and he takes one?
All right, sorry about that, guys. So right now, I just wanted to give you a blow by blow. What's going on with the casting kids competition? You have three main things. You have a cast, a pitch, and a flip. And so each individual has an opportunity to go from the closest one, and you progress all the way back to the last part of it, which is actually the casting portion of it. You have a bullseye in which you have to hit it, and based on where your bait lands, that's how many points that you actually receive. Or Jared went.
You're messing it live.
Hey, Warren. That's right.
We've got like 2 or 3 kids down there that are going to get an award.
Okay. You're gonna come in. You want to come in here with them, and then that way Chris can go do what he's got to do.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a little while before Chris comes up. We're still handing out awards.
Okay, cool.
So, give me 10 more minutes.
Where are you going?
Back down there. I got 2 more kids that are getting awards. So
Okay.
I'll be there when they get their award for the junior.
Cool.
And I'll be right back. Chris is going to do that. Was that going to be live?
I think I got to do this now. So you guys do what you got to do. Yeah.
We got one of the pros coming over to hand out the trophies. So
That's gonna be awesome.
Timmy Horton will do that.
And so the guys down there, they are scorekeeping.
Yeah. So the 2 at the end of scorekeeping. The bait the head of the bait has to be wherever the head falls. That's the score they get. The body could be hanging out somewhere else. It's where the eye is on the lure.
So where the eye of the lure. Now is it a jig that they're throwing?
Yeah, it's a little rubber jig, no hook in it.
Okay.
So it's just depends on where it falls. It's a little bit tougher on the young kids. It's
What's the weight of that thing that they're throwing the jig?
only about 5/16.
5/16. Okay. No, it's funny. I remember doing this when I was a kid at the Dulles Expo Center when they used to have it in the casting kids competition, and it actually is what got me into fishing because I grew up in the city in Vienna back when I didn't know anything about it. I did the competition. I actually qualified, and that was when they had a local and a state back then.
Yeah, we used to go into a national.
Yes, and then which is I'm really sad that actually happened. They shut that down.
Used to be college scholarships involved.
Yeah, it was. What was so funny is the only way I got into a basket club was because of casting kids. Because when I went to States, I met someone that had a youth club, and if it wasn't for casting kids, I wouldn't have gotten like hooked on fishing. Because I still remember when I did the States, and I would practice downstairs with like a little coffee mug to get ready, and it's such a cool concept to do.
Yeah, I remember my son did it. He would keep a target at the house, and I come home from work, he's in the backyard practicing, getting ready.
That's so cool.
Matter of fact, this little girl that's sitting down here in the pink hat, she, her brother qualified last year for the championship. She qualified this year, and her brother didn't, so they've been messing back and forth. But she did well at the Hampton. She won the Hampton competition, so she's a little nervous right now. You can see her down there. She's not talking. She did well there. I think she scored like 80 or 90 at Hampton.
That's freaking awesome.
I should have ran out of that phone was
And then you're saying you have high school age people here too as well?
We got some that are 15 that are competing. But this stops at 15 years old.
Okay. So I'll ask the older kids afterwards if they want to get on the show.
Okay. Yeah, that's the 2 older ones back there in the back. 2 or 3 older ones.
Okay.
So for individuals that are just tuning in, this is the 7 and under division that's going first. So again, guys, this is Fishing the DMV bringing you coverage of the Casting Kids competition. So again, guys, this is Fishing the DMV bringing you coverage of the Casting Kids competition. This is under 7?
Yeah, under 7.
And so we have 3 divisions that are going to be performing. We have under 7, 7 to 11, and then 12 to 15. And so we have 3 divisions that are going to be performing. We have under 7, 7 to 11, and then 12 to 15. So if you're not familiar with the Casting Kids competition, they are competing with 3 different. They have pitching, flipping, and casting. They're competing with 3 different. They have pitching, flipping, and casting. Find out the
come back and
Yeah, so I can run the camera. Go get your boys and bring them over here at 2 o'clock. Or tell them to be over here at 2. So the first cast that they start out with is the flip. Goal is to try to get it in the bullseye.
I'll just do it.
Now he's moving on to the pitch. Now the last one that they compete in is the cast.
Not yet. He's on again at 4, so I don't know. Jared just said he was handing out awards still, so I don't know.
Right now?
That's like really what I'm looking forward to.
Do the intro. Once you're done with this, you just hop over
Yeah.
casting.
So do the right. Okay. Just do the.
Go for it. You're live.
All right, guys. Jared again here, Fishing the DMV, Jake's Bait and Tackle, and also Frederick County Bass. So we got 2 guys here. Got some hardware today. Won an elite, John Cruz Elite award for one of the top teams in the state of Virginia. And we got Gavin and Brady. So guys, both seniors, you had a heck of a year this year. I've said before, last year was, tough as it is on big lakes. But you guys never quit. You talked about that before. You kept working hard. You worked hard in the off season, and you came out this year and had success this year at the state level. Talk a little bit about this year and how it went, just briefly, in the qualifiers and the state tournament.
Well, our first qualifier was at Lake Gaston. We didn't have much of a practice, really, so we just really wung it. And then come tournament morning, we only had 2 in the box. We were getting discouraged. It's normal to get discouraged. You get all frustrated. And then I told him, I was like, look, the only way we can fix this is by keep casting, keep putting the bait in the water. And so before we know it, we had caught all 5, and it was only 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and then soon after that, we picked out a pattern and started throwing on stumps, and that's when we picked off our big fish, and that's what really helped us, and that's what put us in 3rd. So we definitely picked up our game towards the end.
And the Chickahominy, was that the other tournament you did well in?
Yes, we finished 4th in that one. We had a really good practice. We were expecting a lot more than what we had. I think, what was the tournament, Sunday?
Yeah.
So Saturday, we had almost 20 pounds for 5
Wow.
fish. So we were going in pretty high strung, and the morning started off real bad, real discouraging. So we fished a bank that was off the main river, and we caught 2, landed 2, and hooked into 3. And come to find out, that 3rd one that we hooked into would have been the winning fish.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the next day, going into the tournament as it was, we thought we were going to have our high hopes and thought we were going to catch a full limit, but it turned out that the weather completely changed and the bite completely changed. We ended up catching all of our fish on one bait only, and that was a black and blue chatterbait.
With a black blade.
Yep, that was it.
So,
it was just black and blue chatterbait, and that's all it was.
Yep.
The other question I have for you guys real quick, for young people that, you were talking to a young man earlier, and you guys did a good job. For young people that want to get into competitive fishing, just talk just briefly about Frederick County Bass and Virginia High School Bassmaster, the program, and just kind of in your 2 years of doing it, kind of like what it meant to you, and what would your advice be to young people that may want to get into competitive bass fishing?
Me and him say it every time. We wish we started as soon as we could have.
Yeah,
we really do.
We waited way too long, and we wish we would have started young.
It's very open hands. Everybody's friendly. They want you to fish. They want you to have fun.
You learn a lot. You make new friends. I mean, it's an experience that's unforgettable, and it's a lot of fun.
You got to bring in, thank you guys. You got to bring in your boat captain here
Yeah,
real quick.
shout out to
Pappy.
Say
Rick
what's up.
Nugent. We couldn't do this without Rick. Donates his time, his boat, and energy to take these boys out. He was our boat captain this year, and Rick, I thank you, appreciate you, but I know these boys really appreciate you taking them out this year.
Very grateful.
Yes.
Good bunch of boys.
Good stuff. Guys, thank you. And again, look us up, Frederick County Bass, if you're interested in joining the team, join the club.
Don't be scared. Do it.
It's well worth it.
Well worth it. So, signing off from Richmond. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you, boys. Sorry.
Yeah, we need to. All right, everybody, we're going to have the award ceremony shortly for the Casting Kids competition, and we're going to bring that to you live.
How are you, sir? Jared.
Hey, how you doing, Jay?
Good.
We got Jim Horton coming over here to
good.
give out the awards.
So I'll put this on
to the
him.
kids, so,
Or who will be announcing it? You'll hand him or?
probably be Scott. Right?
All right. I'll put this on him if he's the one talking.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
Usually one of the pros that is here
Right.
usually helps us out.
Yeah.
And give the award.
Cool. That's awesome. I don't know if he told you, but Thomas, he fished collegiately, but he got his start doing this very thing.
Right.
That's how he got his start.
Casting kids.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you something. Where do you go to find this?
YouTube. Just go on YouTube.
And look
and
for
then
what?
For Fishing The DMV.
Fishing what?
The DMV.
DMV.
Yeah.
What
Look
does
that up.
DMV stand for?
So basically, I don't know the exact letters, but it basically refers to we're from okay.
You're not far off. Here we go.
You able to hear me, Thomas?
Here comes Steve.
Hey, buddy, how are you, sir? Good seeing you.
Good, good. What y'all need me to do? I'll be glad to going to get back to you. Stop right here. Here is leader or whatever. So get with me.
All right, everybody, we are going live to the Casting Kids award ceremony.
Who's going to be doing the talking?
We're going to next speaker to be awarded a Coco rod maker.
Timmy Horton stuff over.
Right there.
Timmy's done it before.
Oh, just the one by himself? Oh, so he's just by himself?
Yeah. Old, isn't it? It's old. Yeah, well, I'm from the Goodyear here. That person was in the February. I keep up with
How are you, buddy? Good. Good. How's it going? Yeah, did a test earlier to ask him if it was working. Gotcha. I think this is the guy now.
You got a microphone here
For the Fishing The DMV.
All right, let me see what I got set up here. Huh?
These are for the bigger kids.
Bigger
for
kids,
winners,
younger
and then
kids.
Everybody else gets one of these.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
looks like there's an extra medal there because
All right.
and you were giving these to the
Little kids.
winners.
Yeah. Yep. All right. All of you, come on in. Hey, Timmy, thanks for coming over. First of all, guys, appreciate you being here today. All right. Some of you qualified months ago. Matter of fact, Agatha, you qualified in March of last year. You come from Hampton, so appreciate you coming. Great job today. We had some good scores. Does everybody know this gentleman right here?
Tim Horton.
Timmy Horton. Professional bass fisherman. A little bit about Timmy. I'm running to watch him laid back in his boat having a pizza delivered to him. Remember that day, don't you? Timmy's one of our top pros on the circuit. He does a great job. Got his own company over here, Profound Outdoors. If you haven't been over there, go check out some of his baits. Got some pretty baits. He's got them. You tell him where you fish at, he'll show you what to use. Okay, he'll hook you right up. So we got 3 age groups, and all of you are going to be winners today because every one of you are going home with a new rod and reel. All right, so pretty cool. We'll start with the younger age group, under 7. And we got in first place, well, we'll start with second place. We had a tie in second, so you both get the same award here. We got Lane Smith and Avery Burge. All right, come on up here. Get your award here. There. All right. And hold up, and you got second, so you get a trophy. All right. Where's Connor? Where's Connor? Connor, come here, boy. Connor, you're our winner today. All right. Got that. And let me make sure I give you the right trophy. No, that's right. Come here. I'll give a trophy. Hey, bring her back over here. I gave you the wrong prize. I'll give you a rod and reel. Like that. And hold on. You get a rod and reel. And you get a rod and reel. And here you go, buddy. Lane, you got a fishing pole. All right. All right. That's under 7. All right, I'm sorry, I want you handing this stuff out. You do that. You get a... All right, so let's have Camden and Agatha. All right, come on up, Agatha. They get one of the black medals, and then they get one of the rod and reels over there on the right. Yeah. Well, they're not the same. Yeah. All right, so now I need, let's see, where's Hazel? Come on up. Hazel, you're our winner today. And Camden, where's Camden? Camden? Hey, Hazel, what about Camden? Camden? All right, I don't know. Well, Hazel, you got first place today in the 7 to 11. Yep. Get a trophy? Yeah. All right. What's your name? Chase, that's right. All right. We made a mistake. That's my fault. Yeah, the sheet was mixed up. Hazel got hers. Hazel, come up here. I gave you the wrong trophy. You got second. There you go. Chase, come up here. Chase, you got first place. You give that and swap Hazel's. She gets a red. That's fine. Yeah. All right. All right, where's Christopher? We got a Christopher? Morris, there you go. He got third, so he gets a black one and one of the rod reels. What was your name? Did you get your prize already? Yeah. Okay, you're good. Well, I was ahead mixed up. You're good. All right. A tight competition here. Y'all were separated by 10 points. All right. So in second place, Haley. The red ribbon and the second place trophy. Then we got certificates for everybody here in a minute. Gannon, you won it, buddy. You had the high score. You get a first place trophy and a blue medal. All right. Did everybody get a medal? Okay. Yeah, come here. You got one of these? Yeah, we had an extra one. All right, Connor. And Avery. Lane. Camden. Thank you. Hazel. There you go. Chase. Where'd Chase go? There he is. Agatha. There you go. Thank you. Gannon. Christopher. And Haley. Guys, thanks for coming out. Timmy, thanks for coming over and seeing these guys. Can we get a picture with all y'all with Timmy with the banner? Yep, absolutely. Oh, I got to give that to the other one.
Hold on to that fishing rod. Avery.
Hey, Avery. Connor. That's yours, buddy. All right, everybody look up and smile. Got happy parents? No, I'm not getting in there. Hold on just a second. Send him down here.
All right. Now here's one more. Hold on. We're going to do a gang thing. All right. Come out. All right. Here we go. Gang thing. Go. All right. We got that. All right. This one, we're going to smile real big. Smile real big. All right. On three. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're going to do a silly one. We're going to do a silly one. I'm going to put my hat sideways. Hat sideways. All right, we're going to do a silly one. All right. Hey, you point up in the sky for me, okay? All right, everybody look the opposite way. Don't even look at the camera. All right, here we go. All right.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Timmy, do you hunt? Do you hunt? I do. You good? I got someone to give you over here.
Okay.
Let them clear out a little bit. There you go.
I'll just ask you some questions. How old are you?
12.
Would he like to get his tackle box autographed by the pros?
How long have you been fishing? Since you can remember?
Can you hold on just a minute? I got one more signature on this box here.
7, 5,
Oh, that's a durable ball.
Yeah, it is.
Chase. Where are you from, Chase?
6 years old.
Hampton, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Hey, thank you.
Very good. So Chase from Hampton, Virginia, first place, likes to fish. What's your favorite fish?
Bass.
Bass? Like largemouth bass? All right, buddy. Hey, congratulations. Good job today.
Too cute.
Yeah. I think that's her name.
We'll get Avery on the. Hi, Avery. How are you? Got you on camera here. Congratulations today.
Good job.
What was the secret to casting?
I tried my best.
That's exactly right. Try your best. You like fishing?
Yeah.
Do you? What do you like to fish for?
Bass.
Bass? You like catching bass?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 4.
4 years old. How about a high five right there, girl? Hey, you keep working on that, okay?
Okay.
You catch, your goal is to catch bigger bass than the boys, all right?
Yeah.
That's right. That a girl. You put the worms on the hook too? All right. This girl knows how to fish. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good job. Come on, Avery. Avery, you're on speed. See, you're on speed.
Thank y'all very much. Yes, sir. Hey, we're Fishing the DMV, doing a podcast. So this makes me think back to when did you start fishing?
Oh my goodness.
And where?
I started my very first fishing in my grandfather's farm pond. I was probably 8, 9 years old. So the cool thing about fishing and seeing these young kids is their sense of wonder, you know, and it really, and if they get into this sport, they're going to have something they can do the rest of their life.
That's exactly right. What advice would you give to the older kids, maybe the juniors and seniors that are maybe fishing competitively, that want to be in the fishing industry? They may not be able to make it as a pro or elite.
Yeah.
Any advice for them?
There's all different kind of things. You know, the cool thing about fishing is it's a huge industry, but it's a tight group. Everybody knows everybody. I think the biggest information I can give is networking, social skills. You know, really try to talk to as many people as you can, and you know, fishing's a fun industry. Be positive about everything going on.
That's good. Yep. Timmy, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Appreciate
what
y'all do.
Oh, that's awesome.
There you go.
I'm just catching people walking by at this point.
We get to watch this.
Till Tommy cancels this video.
Oh, that was cool.
on my property. You didn't win shit in my yard.
Wait.
All of you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
You're listening to Fishing the DMV with your hosts, Thomas Ahrens and Jared Mounts. Fishing the DMV is brought to you by Jake's Bait and Tackle, located in Winchester, Virginia.
If that doesn't get you jacked up, I don't know what will.
Guys, I'm really sorry. We had a little bit of technical difficulty there with bringing you the iCast coverage. The iCast, you see, that's how tired I am. The Casting Kids coverage. Huge shout out to all of my help. Wave. She's been a heck of a camera woman right now, helping me out. And then Jared, who's like a mythical unicorn, he's somewhere. He just lurks around. But huge shout out to him. And Chris, you want to say hi to the camera? Just, yep. Say thank you so much for, there you go. Thank you so much for helping with everything you do. We are back to our interviews. We got one more interview, then we're going to take a small break, and then we're going to finish out the day here at Richmond Expo Day 2 coverage. And so we got a really, really fascinating guest here. We got into his backstory a little bit before we started talking here. He decided that he wanted to build rods, and he doesn't live near Lake Gunnersville. He doesn't live on the Shenandoah. You know, he lives in Round Hill, Virginia, which is where I grew up. And that is basically like Ashburn 2.0, where it's going to be just houses on houses. But this guy developed a passion for rods. This is Catoctin Creek Rods, and it is Mark Burke. Buddy, you are on. How are you doing today, sir?
Good afternoon. How's it been today?
It's been fun. Very, very busy and crazy, to say the least. So talk to me about like your company and how you got started.
Well, it got started, I established the company in 2009, but I'd been making rods for 15 years, repairing rods for friends, and it got started from a Cabela's rod building catalog. And then it just exploded from there. I have a couple other distributors, and I probably have my rods being used in about 15 to 20 different states and at least 3 countries.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What was your first rod you designed?
First rod? Oh, that was a long time ago. I made a multi-species. It was basically just like a small bait caster. And this was back in the early 90s. And it was like the finesse bait casters that they're making now. It was maybe 5.5 foot.
Oh, wow.
It'd be an ideal crappie rod if you want to use a bait caster.
Mm-hmm. And then didn't you also, you've partnered with a couple of people, like Northern Virginia Kayak Association. I believe I've seen you out there with them, right?
Yes, I'm one of the sponsors for the Northern Virginia Kayak Bass Anglers. And each year I build their Rookie of the Year rod.
Oh, cool.
And I partner up with WGTS FM radio. It's a Christian radio station based over in Rockville. And twice a year, I provide an incentive gift during their fundraiser.
So this is all super easy for you. You're used to all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So how did that partnership come about?
How did that come out?
Did you serve in radio or anything like that?
No,
or?
I didn't. Actually, one of the previous DJs, she was asking about some rod carriers, rod tubes that would be ideal for her husband. And I called in, and then I just had made the connection, and it just grew from there.
Okay.
I called them and offered a rod and reel combo for their.
Now, are you doing this right now in your basement? Do you have a shop or
upstairs in our family room? It used to be in the basement, but this time of year the basements get cold. It's not a finished basement, and it's an old house, so if you're not 5'5", you can't stand up straight in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I go upstairs and have a little workshop set up there.
What got you passionate about doing this?
Every time I'd go into the store, I'd see features of one rod I liked, and then other features from other rods that I like. So why not combine them, get the handle grip configuration that I like, the blank that I like, and the guides that I like, and put them on. And a lot of my customers will ask for certain rod handle lengths, which you really can't get from Bass Pro Shops or Cabela's or any mail order.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like building a computer in a way.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And some of the other organizations I work with is Boulder Crest, which is a organization that helps military veterans with PTSD. And I build a couple of rods there for their silent auction.
Okay. Wow. We talked a little bit before we started here about what got you passionate about fishing in this area. And it came down to Sleater's Lake. And I know I'm going to take a lot of people off that are watching right now. You know who you are. But I want to give a nod to this place because Sleater's Lake really it's a small lake, but it really taught me how to fish, and I fell in love with it. Grass fishing, things like that. When did you start fishing Sleaters? Was it before or after the housing boom around the lake?
It was before the park was built.
Oh, wow.
We have some friends that live on that one cove where the ramp used to be.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And now the water in that cove is about 3 inches deep. The silt is a good 5 feet, so you don't want to get out of your boat. Or
Golf
kayak.
course, you think?
Yeah, you'll sink up to your shoulders.
So if you guys don't know the way Sleater's Lake is, one of the main feeder creeks is I think it's Stone Bridge. There's a golf course above, and that got built in. And I really do think when that golf course, there used to be tons of vegetation, and it's back to some degree, but there was tons of vegetation. There was a massive die-off. And it's remarkable how that coincided with all the work that was being done up above. And I really think that really had to do with the silt stuff being pushed into that place.
And I think the bypass that was built there kind of channeled a lot of that silt too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a lot of coontail. And you fish that. I fished hard jerkbaits through the coontail and caught some nice fish.
The grass, I can't get over the fact the grass there is so luscious. And there's not a lot of places you can learn how to have success grass fishing. Frederick used to have grass back in the day, but you still wouldn't have the kind of success you could have on Sleaters.
Yeah.
And for me, that really helped cultivate this passion for it. But I learned how to fish grass edges, like coontail, like Al Linder and In Fisherman talk about back in the day. You could imprint that right there. What is the biggest bass you've caught out of Sleaters?
About 4 pounds.
It's not bad at all.
No, not bad, and it was on a point. So, yeah, points always point their way to the bass. And it was very shallow. It was a good 3 foot deep.
Oh yeah, I mean that place is it's not a lot of lake, but it's enough lake that you can get out there. You can learn how to point fish. You can learn how to throw riprap. Now the question is, where do you test? Is Sleaters where you test these rods at when you went out there, or?
Yes, I use maybe 3 different rods when I go. My kayak, that's the only thing. It has 3 rod holders, so I have to limit myself. And what I like about Sleaters, and even in the summertime, mid-July, it'll get 76 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I have kayaked Lake Brittle, and it feels like a warm bath in the summertime. The same with Pelham Lake down there at Culpeper.
Why do you think that is?
They're shallow, and they heat up very fast. Sleater can get up to 40 foot deep in some areas.
Oh yeah, it's really deep at the dam, and I wonder how much the vegetation also has something to do with it as well.
I've snagged vegetation there 15, 20 foot deep.
Oh wow. Yeah.
There's a few locations where you throw a lure there and it just hits the surface and does its thing. You need a good weedless.
That's crazy. Yeah, like I've seen the vegetation in there, and sometimes you get these really nice walls, that deep, like rigid, deep grass line, which is fantastic to learn, just to be able to learn how to fish it. So if you go somewhere else, like let's say Gunnersville randomly, you have experience on that locally. And I guess the one positive is the fact that, like, besides that, you can only have kayaks in there. So I don't know how hardly pressured that place will get. It's not like a fountainhead where you can put boats in there as well. It's just going to be kayak anglers. And how many are actually going to go fish Sleaters, I don't know.
Fountainhead, Occoquan Reservoir.
Occoquan, yeah.
You have to fish that like a river.
Yeah.
It's maybe 600 feet wide at the widest point. but it receives a lot of pressure.
And it still cranks them out, which is insane.
Yes.
So the thing that people want to know, you got some samples so we can take a look.
I've
See
got
at
some samples, some older rods. These are my personal rods. I've also had a habit of accepting broken rods from people, and I will take components off, such as the reel seats or the grips, the handles, and put them on new rods. If it works for old barnwood doors, it'll work for grips.
So why don't I'll adjust this camera for you. So that we can,
Well, I can just bring them up here.
Okay,
perfect. Okay, I have two examples. That one this one's my top water spinnerbait rod. It's built on the American Tackle Bushido.
Oh, that's cool.
Which are excellent. It's a 2-part pack bait reel seat, and you can see the grip is a little old. It came off a broken St. Croix Premier rod, and I converted it to a split grip. And my other one, Fuji VSS reel seat. That's a little dirty, and I've got the American Tackle.
I see that real quick.
On it.
I'll show it to this camera a little bit. So, guys, it has this really. Now, could you talk about real quick this setup? Why did you design this type of eye?
That one was designed by Doug Hannon. It's their microwave guides, and it will actually tame the slapping on the when you make a cast on spinning rods. They do make them for casting rods too.
Okay.
I mean casting. That's what they have on all of theirs. Castaway at one time was putting these on. And you can get them in Duralite, which is a very good aluminum oxide, or you can get them in Nanolite, which is American Tackle's version of, or they call it, Nanolite. It's American Tackle's version of Alkanite.
That's really neat.
Yeah, there are excellent rings on those, and they're braid proof. And these are both, the spinning rod is, it's a extra fast action. Actually, they both are extra fast.
I was going to get into that. What is your favorite actions? Let's go random. Let's go with a shaky head. What would your actions be?
Most people use either a fast or an extra fast. Crankbait, it's best with a moderate fast or even a moderate, depending on if you want a deep diver. Moderate is good for that. Fast is probably the best all around for worming, jigs. That's where the top 1/3 of the blank will have an initial bend. It's like with this one, you can tell. See if I can do this in front of the camera. That's where the initial bend is right there. That's extra fast. It's very good for spinner baits, jerk baits.
So when do you want a more moderate tipped rod?
That's with your crankbaits.
With your crankbaits, so that bigger load into the plank.
That, and when bass strike a lure, they're like a Hoover vacuum or a shark vacuum. Most people use sharks now. And a moderate bend, which is probably best to use with fiberglass. They don't dampen as quick. With a fast action graphite, when the strike happens, it'll bend, but it'll want to straighten out very quick. It'll pull the bait right out of the bass's mouth.
Okay, gotcha.
So you want a moderate to a moderate fast action on that, which is best with a fiberglass rod. And it'll allow the bass to actually get a hold of the crankbait so you can set the hook.
So then what is the length of the rod? Is it just casting distance, or is there other pros and cons to having a longer or shorter? Because I was always taught like a shorter rod, let's say for a bait casting setup, is really good if you're going to be fishing docks and stuff because it gives you the ability to be more precise. But length is just purely for casting distance.
The dock fishing, a lot of people do use the shorter lengths, and they call them shooter blanks.
Shooters, really?
Shooter, because they're really good for underhand casting. But back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, the standard casting rod was 5.5 foot for everything. And now 6.5 foot rods are generally used for the dock fishing. And some guys even go as short as 6 foot.
Wow. I remember Aaron Martin back in the day. He had a custom rod that he made, and God love Aaron, because he'll just talk to the camera. And he said he got a custom rod. It was 4.5 foot. He wasn't using it then, but he said he used to have a custom foot rod when he was fishing the Red River. It was some very woody place, and he said he had a 5 footer, and he got a guy to make him almost a 4.5 foot rod, pistol grip, because he was throwing short bill, flat sided build crankbaits. Yeah. There we go, around all this stuff, and I didn't know why, but the way he was talking about, oh crap, that makes sense. That does give you the ability to underhand and stuff like that. That's really interesting.
If you have really big hands, a pistol grip makes a lot of sense.
Really?
But you can use a short grip on one of those rods. It's a straight grip. I can make a straight grip rod that's the rear grips on.
What happened to pistol grips? Because it was I remember Bill Dance, every time I used to see him, or Jimmy Houston with a spinnerbait, everyone had pistol grips. And then it's it disappeared.
It fell out of favor.
You think that's just what it is?
Yeah, because every manufacturer makes a split grip. And that was the domain of custom rod builders for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And it does make it a little bit lighter, but it also gives more area for embellishment, where people will do the weaves, the thread weaves on rods. I personally don't do those because it can take 4 to 6 hours to do a weave on that.
That's a really good question. How long does it take you? Let's say I order a standard 7 foot medium heavy spinning rod, start to finish.
Oh, if I don't have any other builds, I can have it out in 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
It takes longer for the parts to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I work in the evenings and put them together. And when I put them together, especially the reel seats, I don't use the rod epoxy. I get JB Weld steel weld.
Okay.
That glue has 5,000 pounds of holding power per square inch.
Wow.
Yeah. The reel seat's under the most stress, so I use that for the reel seats.
Okay.
And that reel seat's not moving again.
That's really cool.
For the grips, I use the standard rod building. It comes in a paste form, and it's got the consistency of Vaseline, so it doesn't drip all over the place, and it holds like crazy.
What is the craziest rod somebody's asked you to design, or the most fun for you to build? Challenging, I guess, that way.
Well, any of them are fun for me to build, but the craziest, somebody asked me to have her stepson's father's ashes put in the handle. Yes. that kind of weirded me out.
That's a little weird, yeah.
Yeah. But I've used for a foregrip the wooden top to forgot the name of the hot sauce, but it was a hot sauce bottle.
Okay, that's really cool.
I coated it in epoxy, and it looked like this little round ball on the end of it.
That's so cool. That's really cool.
And I have some test tubes, polycarbonate test tubes that I want to build a clear handle on one.
Okay.
And I might do that for the radio station.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
That would be really, really cool.
I can do all sorts of designs on the inside of that.
That'd be really cool.
And I do want to put some antler on a antler handled rod.
I do like that custom stuff. There's another guy here that makes it's crazy. And that episode, guys, is going to drop tomorrow. We're going to have him on the show. He makes handcrafted wood baits, but it's for art, not to fish with. So he spends all this time to stay in his stuff, and he goes to fishing shows, but he usually just goes to art shows with these things. It's insane because like when you blend the two together, and that's what I think is so neat when you get a custom rod is you get to blend the art with the productivity of a rod tailored specifically for what you want.
And I've done handles that have mimicked ivory.
That's really cool.
Yeah, little ivory. It looks like a little ivory inset, but it's actually a piece of plumbing pipe.
Oh, that's so cool.
That I can. You paint it. Ivory turns yellow after a while. You can paint it that. I can put and it cracks, so I can actually cut the cracks in it and paint the shadows in it. I make my own water slide decals, so I can do one that looks like scrimshaw on it.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Dang, that's really cool. Well, then, do you have a website, or where can people find you if they want to get a custom rod?
It's easiest to go to my Facebook page.
Facebook page?
Yes. My website is very small, and it's I don't have any more room for it to update it. But I've got all my rods that I've built over the years, well, most of them. And it's probably about 180 pictures.
Okay, wow.
I've done zebra stripes from butt to tip. That's a tedious.
Yeah, that would be really tedious.
I do a lot of marbling instead of the weave. I like the marbling because it doesn't take 6 hours to do. And I've even marbled the guide wraps. You put black guide wraps on it and marble over it any color you want. And I can do school colors, your favorite colors. There's some colors you can't, or any logos I can't put on them, such as Harley Davidson. They will come after you with their lawyers.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
But
really cool.
I can do the colors of that. Most NFL teams, they're all copyrighted. I can do college logos because one of my distributors can get the college logos.
Oh, cool.
I've done Crimson Tide themed rods. I've done Liberty University rods. Oh, what else? Virginia Tech, UVA.
Dude, that's so freaking
Done all
awesome.
those.
So guys, again, I'll link on the re-upload of this. I'll link his Facebook page in the episode description. We are also going to do a regular podcast episode when we get him in studio. That way we can really get into more in-depth conversation in a quiet, controlled environment, I guess you'd say. And we can then have him bring in more samples and stuff, and we can go full deep dive. This is just a tasting, if you want, an appetizer of what's to come. But Mark, again, thank you so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Again, guys, it is Catoctin Creek. I'll put that right there, Catoctin Creek. If you'd like a custom rod, he's located in Round Hill, Virginia. That's in western Loudoun County near Sleeters Lake, Virginia. Mark, is there anything else that we need to touch on?
No, just would it be hard to give a shout out to some of the sponsors that
Go for it.
Okay, well, I am sponsored by Solar Bat Sunglasses, the company founded by a licensed optometrist, so
Oh, that's cool.
he knows eye care. Shredfin, which is an outstanding veteran-owned technical apparel company. P&H Custom Lures, and of course, Catoctin Creek Custom Rods.
So do you have any hopes of going pro in the kayak world or anything like that?
No, I plan to join the Fishers of Men tournament
fun.
trail. And I...
Co-angler or boater?
I'm co-angler.
Co-angler.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think any kayak would be able to fish in that.
Probably not,
Yeah.
no.
More comfortable to fish from a sleeter or a skeeter or a ranger or something like that.
It definitely is.
Especially when you're on Bugs Island or Lake Anna.
There are pros and cons. I like the kayaking because of the niche I think it fills, which is the Sleeters Lakes, the creeks, the rivers, things like that. But again, guys, I own a bass boat. I've been transparent about that. And yeah, if I had to pick, I'd rather fish the tidal Potomac in my bass boat than a kayak. That's just personal preference.
Yeah, another good lake in the western Loudoun or middle Loudoun is Beaver Dam.
Leesburg.
But if there's a steady wind, that lake scares me.
Is that place open to the public now? Because I remember it was like shut down for a while.
It's open, but they are planning a new park at the upper end of it.
Okay.
But I've seen 2-foot waves on that lake with whitecaps.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's scary because a lot of it's shallow.
Okay.
And it's 350 acres and it's wide.
There's also, isn't there another reservoir down below Beaver Dam, like a little one?
Goose Creek Reservoir.
That's
pretty much closed.
That's what it used to be. I remember back in the day when I was young, there was a golf course. Is that 7? I think that's 7. That's 7. There was a golf course, there's a little turnoff, and you could go start fishing the creek right down in there.
Yes.
Back in the day. And I mean, again, I just wish they would open up some of these waters a little bit more, just because first it gives you more business because you have more anglers in the area, but you don't have to travel so far to go fishing.
There's quite a few large ponds, and if they ever were able to get some public land and make a good fishing lake, 1 to 200 acres is all you need.
If I won $1 billion, yeah, I would definitely donate and create some more parks with even just small ponds and lakes,
or even some public access, more public access on Shenandoah would be nice.
Mm-hmm. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice because the Shenandoah is coming back. It really is. It's getting a lot better. I just went out there. I just shot a big episode with Travis Eden. We went out and we were fishing the main stem, and we were sticking some really nice ones. And compared to what it used to be like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's come a long way.
I do a lot of wading downstream from Route 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Shenandoah University property.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
Walk about a mile before you can get access.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Almost into West Virginia.
Have you fished those Shenandoah ponds right there?
Yes, I have. I've actually caught some, some pretty decent largemouth out of there.
Seriously?
Maybe, a pound.
Okay. I didn't even know that those ponds actually had fish in them.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Huh. And they're public, right?
Yes.
So there you go, guys. There's 2 ponds right there. Maybe we'll do an episode on that, a Google Earth episode to show you where that is. It's on the Virginia side of 7. So if you're going from Round Hill to Winchester, you take a right before you cross the Shenandoah. I think that's right in my head.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. But those are 2 ponds right there. So you have like the Orchard, Franklin Park, those 2 ponds, of course, Shenandoah River. You can bank fish some. But yeah, something I really want to do is try to find more bodies of water that are kid friendly to go fish. Because right now it's like Sleater's Lake has this one little area, but Lake Frederick is probably the best for bank fishermen. And then it'd probably be some rivers and stuff in the summertime.
Yeah. Frederick has outstanding access because it's a state-owned lake.
Yeah.
Early in the season, Lake Brittle is good.
Lake Brittle, yeah.
Now, if you want to catch snakehead, Brittle is a place to go. So is Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of other places that Pelham has some access, but it's that's another lake that gets very, very warm in the summertime.
Awesome.
Just like those ponds where the Shenandoah University is. In the summertime, about 1/3 of it is overgrown. It's hard to fish.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, again, guys, they're out there. You just have to keep looking. I mean, that's the thing. And it's finding those little hidden gems. They're not going to get burnt out, but it just gives kids the opportunity to go fishing. That's why I do these little things where I go show ponds off and I drop the GPS coordinates because, again, to me, it was like when I was a kid, I didn't know where to go. And kids are on social media now. They're going to Google where they can go fish. And that's what's important. The Franklin Parks of the world, the Orchards of the world in Round Hill, which if that would be a place, if I could, I would buy that place, kick the winery out. I love you guys, but kick the winery out and open up that pond more because that's in such a perfect place where you can go get right to it, great bank access, and everyone can go there and have fun and fish. And then there's also, in Hillsboro, you probably know this, in Hillsboro, if you take a right like you're going to Leesburg the back way, so if you're driving from Woodgrove High School to Hillsboro, you get to the roundabout, you could go left and go over the mountain, or you could go right and go towards Leesburg. There's like a farm, and it has a massive pond.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about?
That. I've seen jet skiers on that pond.
Seriously?
Yes.
I have never seen a jet ski there. It's massive. Do you know is that a farm or is that
a farm?
Okay.
And there's also a place that has fishing. It's a very small old stock farm. It's called Banshee Reefs Nature Preserve.
Really?
Yeah. The only bad thing about that place is it's full of ticks.
Hmm.
And you could step out of your car, take 3 steps, and you got half a dozen of them on your ankles. So
That's a whole nother conversation about the Lyme disease problem of Loudoun County.
it's a good place to go hiking when it's cold out.
That's a good point.
Beautiful scenery, and it goes right down to Goose Creek.
Really?
Yes.
Well, Mark, I'm going to have you back on. Again, guys, I'm going to have Mark back on this spring in our podcast studio at Jake's Bait and Tackle. We're going to do a full in-depth on his rods and stuff. He was gracious enough to bring us a sample today, but then we're going to go full in-depth early this spring. So check the channel out for that. Mark, thank you so much again for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And then, guys, we are going to be taking a quick commercial break. We're going to be back around 3 p.m., 3:30 with our next guest on the show, and we will see you then. So what I'm going to do is I am going to close off this live stream, and then I'm going to set up a brand new live stream starting about 3:30 with our next guest of the day. I'm going to get some food, and I'll see you guys later on Fishing the DMV. Bye.